Have you got your tickets to the largest music festival in Eastern Kentucky? The Alley Fest is returning Labor Day weekend. That's August 29th, 30th, and 31st. And this year it's bigger and better than ever before. On Friday, see Them Dirty Vandals, Zoe Howard, John Foster, Slater Nelly, and TikTok sensation Maddox Batson. Saturday features Brady Robinson, Troy Burchett, Jordan Smart, Wicked Peace, Jack Marion, Tyler Hood, Rachel Bayman, Luke Trimble, Abby Hamilton, Grayson Jenkins, American Idol winner Noah Thompson, and Nicholas Jamerson and the Morning Jays. And on Sunday, we have Brady McCown, Emma Hansman, John Thomas Moore, Moonlight Mile, Braden Mullins, Corduroy Brown, B. Taylor, our buddies the Kentucky Headhunters, Cole Chaney, and three-time Grammy Award winner Old Crow Medicine Show. Alley Fest has a new home at Archer Park in the Star City, Prestonsburg, Kentucky. This year, the Alley Fest offers on-site camping options, including primitive camping, car camping, and RV spots. All camping is walking distance to the showgrounds. Tickets and camping passes are going fast, so get yours today and don't miss this unbelievable lineup. For tickets, VIP passes, camping passes, and more information, visit www.alleyfestky.com. That's www.alleyfestky.com. Welcome back to Behind the Shed. We hope you're enjoying our series. Today we have Russ Zavitson, Harold Shedd, Wade Smith, and special guests, songwriter and artist Mark McGuinn, along with legendary songwriters Jeff Moseley and Bobby Boyd. Let's get to it. This is Behind the Shed.
I want to welcome three of our favorite people, and I've not been with them in several years, and it's a real special day. And we got Jeff Moseley that we'll talk more about, and we have one of the greatest acts to ever come through Nashville, Tennessee, writer and singer, artist, Mr. Mark McGuinn.
Baby.
Mark, great to see you. And Bobby.
Good to see you.
Bobby, boy, it's good to see you again, buddy.
Good to be here.
And happy that you could be here with us.
I appreciate it.
And our other producer, Mr. Russ Zavitson. And I'll let you say a word about our special guest today.
Well, we've been talking about this one for since we started this thing, about, one of the real big deals you worked on. It's one of your favorite ones you ever did, the whole Mark McGuinn story.
Yes.
And I've known Jeff since 1980, I think, probably.
At least.
Yeah, and I'm not privy to this whole story. Bobby was in this thing in the beginning, writing with you and doing stuff, and Jeff, and I only know the story pretty much after you knew him and you started working the record deal. And that's, I've heard it all back, so I don't know the whole story. So everybody today that watches this podcast is going to find out the whole story of the whole Mark McGuinn story and how it happened from these guys starting out, coming to you and the record label and everything else. So
at least the parts we can tell.
At least the parts you can tell. So I don't know which one of you guys wants to start, how you guys kind of got started and worked into this thing and coming up to Harold and take it from there.
I'll start it by telling you that about the time I met Mark, we had a new venture. I had gone from Mercury, and we had a new venture called VFR Records. Paul Lux, Ed Arnold, and myself. And we were looking for talent, and Mr.
Bet you found
Moseley here came into my office with a CD. I don't think it was a tape. I think it was already a CD.
It was a CD.
And he played me something that I said, what in the world is this, kind of thing. And it turned out to be a new record that these guys, along with Shane Decker, had made. And the rest is history. Mark became the premier act on VFR, and we had a #1 record on a startup independent label.
That's right.
And the good news is it had not been done in 20 years. So we were off to a really good start.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of things happened along the way, but we still wound up with a a great album, and I think probably if you ran the numbers now, it would probably be, if not gold, close to it. It had sold right at 200,000.
It was number one single.
record.
Mrs. Stephen Rudy's number one single.
Number one single.
And the CD went number one.
There you go. So with that, I'll let you.
Well, I'll have to make up a bunch of stuff. One of you guys are going to have to start the story here, and I don't know where to start. Who wants to
Jeff
start?
and Mark probably know more about it.
Well, let's see. Jeff and I had worked together. I don't know, Jeff. When was it that I had been signed to a small publishing company called Crossfire with Ken Levitan.
Ken Levitan, that is correct.
Ken Levitan.
And
And you'd only been there not a couple, 3 months.
3 or 4 months, right before Christmas. I was getting ready to go home for Christmas. And somebody came to me, maybe it's one of the other writers or something, said, "Did you get your check?" And I said, "Huh? What are you talking about?" And I said, "No, I was going to go get it." And they said, "Well, I heard there is no checks, like we're closed." So I said, "Oh, okay. That's not good." So I went to the office, no one there, and I think we're closed. Like there's nobody there. So eventually I did get a hold of Ken, and he said, "Yeah, I'm going to go." Remember Rising Tide Records?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
He was going to run that, and he thought so much of me that he didn't bring me over there.
That's love, man.
That's great.
Love.
Yeah.
That's so good.
And so, I went home to North Carolina, thinking, okay. I mean, I had already been indoctrinated to the ways of Nashville, and this is a possibility that could happen. So I just chalked it up to this is how it could happen. But in that meantime, before I got that writer's deal, my first deal, I had been going around and playing music for. Because back in those days, like with Juan, and there's a lot of the old school publishers. When you went, like you had to get before them, and they would sit like this in a circle and say, "All right, play us music." You want to talk about pressure packed? You're in there and just you're playing music, and I guess through all of that, Jeff had found out, it's tracking, and we just got to talking. I don't remember exactly when. It was very shortly after that.
I think Ken called me.
It was that what it was? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
See, I'm not sure.
He knew me, and he knew I was just starting this independent publishing company called Electric Mule Music.
Yeah.
And I knew him through. I forget, Lyle Lovett or something. I don't remember. Anyway, that's how I got.
That's how we hooked up.
Mm-hmm.
Was like through that, and then one thing led to another, and we worked out a deal. So I went over there, and that was awesome. Like best swag in the whole industry.
Big question. Did you get your check?
Oh yeah,
Okay,
my
good,
check.
okay.
Yeah.
and then some.
Yeah, Jeff was good at giving
Yeah.
checks. He's good about that.
Yeah.
So I was over there with Jim Foster.
Is that the one we went to the bar on?
One of them.
One of them.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. So like I said, it was just me, you, and Jimmy at that point, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and Jimmy's a great songwriter. He's written a
Jim
bunch
Foster, yeah.
bunch of awesome classic songs, and we love Jimmy.
Yep.
He's my uncle.
And he's his uncle. That's right. Which reminds, now that I'm thinking about it, that time we saw when Early,
Early.
who owned the company, we were playing golf.
He didn't own it. He was financing it.
Or financing it, yeah. Anyways, I've never seen this in my life. Jeff and I were across I had gone out to see you in Texas,
Bandera.
in Bandera, and we went and played hillbilly golf out there, which is
A little different.
a little different. Yeah, you might have an alligator hiss at you. You never know, whatever it is. But anyways, we did that, and he was. I'll never forget this. I've never seen this in my life. He was across. We were watching across the fairway.
I forgot this.
And he swings hard, and there's a tree off to the side right in front of him. I don't know how he did this because he was an older fella, but he hits the ball. It was, from our perspective, it was so great. It hits off the tree, comes flying back at his head, and he takes his club like this and goes whack and hits the ball perfect and keeps it from smashing him in the head. And we were like, we just fell out. So we knew we'd be in love then, and we just.
You must have signed him immediately.
Yes, it was.
That took a lot of alcohol, right?
Yes, it did.
I know that.
So
This is on the way though to the record deal, right?
yeah. Going towards a record deal here. Yeah, 9-4, but yeah. So
I went into. He was writing a bunch, and we had some great songs I was very proud of for him and me. And went into Abtrack over in Berry Hill.
Mm-hmm.
Great little studio.
Yep.
Kind of unknown at the time. And went in there, and Shane Decker, good friend of ours, and he was a great producer. And he and I and Spark went in. I call him Spark because that was his nickname.
Still is.
Yeah.
Spark.
Spark.
Yeah.
Spark.
Forgot
Mark
about
Spark.
that.
And we went into Abtrack and cut 6 things.
5 or 6 things.
Yeah. And I went, honey, honey, honey. And then kept going and went in and cut, I think, 5 more. And I got them all done, very happy with, and so was he. And one of the lead guitar player,
Troy Lancaster.
Yes.
Troy Lancaster.
That's who brought that.
Caster.
he says, you need to pitch this to Harold Shedd.
He's starting a new label, and
Yeah.
I did not know anything about this. All I knew was that Troy had come to me and said, "Do you mind if I take this over and and play it for you?" And I said, well, yeah, sure. But I really wasn't looking for a record deal or anything. I was right.
Yeah, he went over there, I think, played him 1 cut, and then he came to me and says, Harold wants to meet with you. And that's when I went over and presented the project.
Right.
And it went from there.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And that was 2000.
Might have been earlier than that. Might
I
have been
can't remember if we
1999.
met. You had that great
It was,
office up there that was
Yeah, he
for
did.
listening.
Well, no, you're right. It was maybe 2002.
Well, 2001 is when Mrs. and Rudy
Yeah,
came out.
I think
Okay.
it was a little bit earlier. And,
It had to be 1999 or so
Yeah.
because we had a song called "Way Back in '99" that was not in the project. Yeah,
That's
but it was
right.
in all that.
It-
We were cutting a lot of stuff in that time, and it had to be '99 or 2000.
Mhm.
Yeah, I
No,
think it was.
it was 2 or
Put the
after.
record
Yeah.
together.
Yeah, that's right.
Because
2001.
I had gone from Mercury.
Yeah,
Mhm.
because we, it was the whole group was you and Jeff, and then Shane, y'all were co-writing, and then Trey Matthews and I were co-writing,
Yep.
and Billy Davidson. We were all kind of just always writing together and,
Yep.
and bringing more stuff out, and then Foster and Don Fremmer later
Oh
on.
yeah, yeah. I miss
just
I miss
built
Don.
up a whole arsenal of great songs.
Yeah.
And then they're running the Abtracks and cutting them. I guess Jamie was over there, right? The
Mhm.
engineer.
Speaking of Don, sometime I'll be thinking about a song. Man, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
God, I wish Fremmer was here.
What,
man.
what would Fremmer do?
Yeah, exactly.
I always think, what would Presswood do?
Yeah, incredible,
Yeah.
incredible writer.
Yeah. What would Fremmer do?
So anyway, so you go play the project for Harold.
Yes.
Okay.
And I met with Paul Lux And I think I brought Mark in, and he played live for you.
I did?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Oh, I did.
The pressure got to you.
Yeah, it got to me. I blacked it out.
And once you hear him sing live in the day, I mean, it catches your ear bones, both of them, boy. And it caught theirs, too.
Yeah.
And then we just kind of got into progress and came up with some money. And we released Mrs. Steve and Rudy, and hell, it went number one.
Well, wait a minute. Now that didn't come first, Mr. Steve and Rudy. I don't think
It wasn't supposed to.
we went with.
Well, that's a plan. That was the second
but
single.
Then,
But they flip-flop.
Then it flipped.
That's right.
Yeah.
But from the
Same
station
point.
and-
Bobby wrote that's plan.
Co-wrote
Yeah.
with David Leone.
yeah.
I think I had the only outside Mark McGuinn cut ever.
Yeah.
Well,
Way to go,
I
man.
just love that song.
Yeah.
I thought it was.
Yeah, man.
Well, I remember though.
And Dave Leone was my other writer. Thank you.
When y'all were finishing the record, I called you one day because you and Shane loved the song, and I remembered I called you to see how it was going. And you said, "Man, we're just going crazy. We got to have a first single, and we can't find it." And I said, "Aren't you going to do That's a Plan?" And the phone went down. I heard it. You went, "Shane, I remember." And then you said, "See you later. I got to call you back." That was it. Next thing
That
I
was
know,
a good
y'all-
day.
y'all were cutting,
Yeah.
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 And then y'all had that great guitar player come in and do the solo.
Oh yeah, Ray
This is
Flack.
Ray Flack.
Oh, Ray
right.
Flack.
yeah.
Yeah.
Took, I think one take,
Ray,
and Shane
yeah.
said, "Done. We're good."
Well, actually, what it was everyone said we used to go down and listen to Ray and Jamie Hartford play downtown, and great. I mean, just awesome.
Great times.
Great, a lot of fun, and I was thinking like, gosh, it'd be really great to have him on the record, play on the record. Well, everyone kept saying, "Oh, he's difficult to work with. He's difficult to work with," you know. But Shane was just like, no, I know what he needs. We need to just go get him a 6-pack of Guinness, and that's it. And set him out there, and that's what we did. But it turns out he was the best. I mean, he was easy to work with. It's just he said, no one calls me. They think I don't know what it is. No one calls me to play on these records, and he's like a legend. Legend. Yeah, I guess that happens sometimes.
Who's telling you guys that? All the other guitar players in town?
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, he was just a joy and so talented. And I had this idea to put drum loops against a super country sounding instrument,
Which had never been done before.
Yeah, exactly. So, and Wanda Vick actually played banjo on most of the
Really?
songs.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
She's a utility player
And,
from
Harold
hell.
and I were talking about that earlier, how that was the first that you started that whole trend of the banjo and the drum loop, and it went on to Dixie Chicks and everybody
Oh yeah,
else.
yeah. There was a
That
whole
was the first
slew.
time I ever saw anybody do that or heard it.
And
That is true,
yeah,
right?
I actually
Well, we
heard
later
it.
did it with Glenn Campbell.
Yeah. He started it.
Way to go.
Yeah,
That's
actually,
true.
I had heard that there was a some kind of meeting up at when the record had made it, gone on. Mrs. Steve and Rudy had gone through. That there was a meeting up at Warner Brothers that we need y'all to write songs like this, with all the writers over there. So
That's great.
yeah,
What's Harold's famous line? They don't know there's only one. The rest of them are all copies. Yeah.
that's right. Yeah.
There's only one.
It had
Yeah.
great players on all that record. Jim
Oh,
Moose Brown.
God,
and
Moose was
Wanda.
on it.
Yeah, and a lot of the players that now are iconic players, but at
Wayne
the
played all
time,
the drums. Wayne Killian.
Wayne,
Yeah, Wayne
Killian,
played 'em.
but at the time,
Yeah, they were.
they, no
new
one
guys.
was really giving them a shot, and I was like,
And Moose did okay.
yeah, exactly.
He went on
he's
the
doing
right
fine.
5 o'clock somewhere.
Yeah, but he's playing on everybody's
plays
record
on
and
every produces.
touring
Yeah.
with Seeger and all that. He's done well.
Yeah. Okay, so you guys go in and you play the record, and Harold likes the record, and you go play live. Then what happened?
Well,
I mean, you didn't go in the next day and sign a contract?
I went out on the road endlessly.
Yeah, but not for a minute.
No,
though.
we signed the contract about a month after I was delivering the project.
Mm-hmm. It wasn't the album done, Harold?
Yeah, Harold.
Was it
Yes.
all album?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they had the
It
album.
was just needed to be
finished.
mastered up
We had 5 songs that we needed to put in there, but they were
to add.
yeah, and so we mostly would.
We delivered the whole
delivered-
project.
Yeah, I think 5 first, and then a little bit later we finished it.
The
Yeah.
rest
Yeah.
of that's
Yeah.
right.
And-
The rest
And
of
I
it.
had it all
by
paid
then.
for, and then I took it to him, and they bought it, and then we mastered it. I had to pay the pickers master scale,
Yeah.
and then it was done, and we went to press.
But before we did that, you and I sat and talked. And no one ever talked to me about this, about order. And you were really picky about what order the songs were going to
It
be.
should be released.
Yeah, and I thought,
Sequence.
gosh, he's really picky about this. I couldn't understand about what it was until I really started listening to it and thinking about the different orders. And you told me, you said, "No, you need to really think about the order, because it's so important."
the sequence.
Yeah,
Mhm.
the sequence, and eventually, it took a week or two. I mean, it took longer than I thought it would, and but we came up with the right order.
Yes.
And if you go back and listen to the whole record today, it really flows nice. I mean, it's really like I learned something for sure right then, that because I don't know, it's just you know how Pink Floyd's records, they feel like they're in the right order. When I listen to that record, it all feels like it's in the right order.
Yeah.
Like you can just listen through it.
Mm-hmm.
On
Yeah, that's an
through.
important thing. It is. That's
Yeah.
cool, man.
Yeah.
When that happens, it's like, yeah, we got it. That's cool.
Yeah, no.
yeah.
That's the
So,
first.
so Harold, after they brought the record and you were playing it for everybody, there, I'm sure you and Paul and I guess Nancy and whoever else, was everybody on board? Like, yeah, this is.
Everyone, yeah. We were a new startup company, and all the people we had at that time were people that wanted to be there.
From
And
other
so-
bigger companies, right?
Yes, that's right,
Yeah.
and including our promotion department, and
Boy, Nancy was a whirlwind.
yeah, and even though, and we had a record out at the time with a duet that her husband
Oh, that's
was,
right.
Right. I
was
forgot
involved
about
Me
in.
that.
too.
Remember that?
But
Hometown News.
Mrs. Stephen Rudy then took precedent over everything. It
Yeah.
was just, it was undeniable. We wanted
That's a plan.
That's a Plan, your song, and it was on the B side.
That's right.
Right.
But then it got to radio, and radio
Yeah.
was the main
Sure.
reason that it was flipped.
Yeah.
And it was the right thing to do, and that it became a number one record and a number one album.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that was the right thing, even though we didn't plan on that.
Sure.
But
I know Nancy told me too. She thought that's plan would go on up there, but y'all were in the 20s and you'd just done that big show they do on Tuesdays that pushed everything up. And
Yeah.
then 9/11, literally, y'all were in California. 9/11 knocked it off. They were he and Jenkins were stuck in California. Had to drive a car back.
And John, yeah.
Yeah, John.
that album, it had more than one or two single records.
got that
And
right.
It had 5 or 6
They could have
singles
gone
on it.
5
And
deep.
I always thought if we could get to Heaven Must Be Missing You, it
Right.
would be in the stratosphere. It would be
Yeah.
it would be over then. But unfortunately, we never got to that point.
Right.
So many things in the world was happening, and
Right.
all of that was.
We hope you're enjoying the show. This episode is sponsored by PopChevy.com, Paintsville Tourism, Wild Bill Fireworks, the Kent Rose Foundation.
Yeah,
became-
radio went to talk radio for the first
2
time
weeks,
ever. Yeah, like no music. It was
Yeah.
all.
Yeah.
9/11. Only the majors
Yeah.
were covered after that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, what terrible timing.
Yeah. it was-
What a
But
great
we
record,
did.
great story.
We set records in that small
Yeah.
period of time, and delivered some really incredible music.
Yeah, man.
we stayed busy for sure.
Mark's record, and actually, thanks to Troy Lancaster, we had signed another guy from
Trent.
before Trent. Actually, didn't have a record out on him yet. From where's all this? Connecticut.
Mm-hmm.
Am I right?
Connecticut, I don't know.
No, where they make the syrup, maple, Vermont.
Oh, Vermont, yeah.
Yeah,
Wayne?
that Troy had produced. A guy named
yeah.
Wayne Warner,
Yeah.
and who was kind of like a country Buddy Holly kind of a thing.
That's right.
Yeah. So we still had that to go, and we had Trent Summer, who was an interesting character.
Yeah, I like
himself.
Yes, he was.
So we were on the right track. We had some really unique
music.
good
Oh, yeah.
talent. I mean, some guys
Yeah.
that were really
I forgot about Trent.
And we did some fun promotions too. Remember, we had Mayor. What was the mayor?
Oh yeah,
Bill Boner.
Yes, Bill
yes.
Boner.
Was he mayor
yes.
then?
Well, he had just come off, but we had a campaign. I think I got up and spoke. It said it was "Win with McGuinn," and then at the party,
That's right. Independent. Win with McGuinn.
Yeah.
Had those badges and
The
everything.
the fans.
yeah, and Boner, we got him to come, and he spoke.
Yes, that's right.
Wow.
I forgot
That's
about
right.
that.
Bill Boner.
And then-
Golly.
At the ASCAP Awards that year, did you get? You might have gotten an award that
I
year.
did.
And,
From Mrs. Steve Rudy,
and
I
I
did.
got an award. And Mark was the sole entertainment for that dinner that
Really?
night.
Yep.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. And
He got an award. I got an award.
We were ready, man. We were locked and loaded, you know.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it was all coming together.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. We won that.
You
was
were
it Music Row.
You were new artist of the
artist
year
for
and,
Music
and
Row.
all of that. Yeah.
Wow.
And that was because I came out with Blake and Keith Urban,
Yes.
and for that particular thing, yeah, we won that.
Yeah. That's right.
Wow.
That's right.
Well,
There were some other
Yeah.
really good artists that came out that
Yeah.
year too.
But Mark is he not to smoke him, but he's an incredible talent, and we were fortunate to have him. You know,
I agree with
at
you on
that
that.
time, and I think it was a good thing in that for a short period of time we had a lot of success.
sure.
Yeah,
Kidding.
Other things some things you have no control
No,
over,
right.
but in the beginning we were definitely on the right track.
Yeah, man.
Oh, yeah.
I'd forgotten that 9/11 hit right then.
yeah. It
It killed
It's-
everything.
it-
Oh, that's a
killed-
plan. I think would have gone at least top 5.
Well, She Doesn't Dance that's the song that everybody. It didn't get as much airplay.
And also a great video.
Oh, what lyrically though, such a great song.
Frimmer. And actually that was that whole song, it was my roommate at the time had told me a story about what happened, and he's actually the bartender in the video. John
Well,
Morris.
it was such an incredible picture, you know.
Yeah.
And-
That one, I got more people love that song as much as Mrs. Stephen Rudy, even though
Yeah.
it didn't get near the airplay.
Right,
And
right.
had 9/11 not
Well, I
happened.
was saying back then, sometimes it's too good for radio, you know.
yeah, yeah, that's right.
And it was one of those. It was lyrically too good, probably, you know.
Yeah, no kidding.
Wow.
Had to make you think a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
And the video was so good.
Great video.
You and that
Yeah.
rowboat and all that.
That was
Yeah.
That's a Plan.
That
The rowboat was That's a Plan.
When they were on the beach and all that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
Crazy
that was.
cars.
That
But
was
She Doesn't
right.
Dance was in
She
a
Doesn't
studio.
Dance
Him
was
playing.
down over at
He
the
plays
Holiday
great
Inn over there
keyboards,
in Donaldson. I remember
and he
being
was
there
playing the
that day.
keys.
Wow.
And they
You're
shot
right.
those
You're
shots
right.
into the mirrors, and it was cool.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was super cool.
Yeah.
And the Mrs. Steve and Rudy video, that was, shout out David Abbott for directing that.
No
and
kidding.
putting all that together. That just happened to come together. We did not have to do anything to that building. It was all that stuff. It was painted white on that white. I mean, this place was huge, and it had. I don't know how they found this, but it just worked out perfect as far as that location.
Like
Because
where you're sitting on all those cubes.
yeah, that was
very cool.
yeah, with the red,
And it was very
very
unique
eye-
for that era.
yes, it was.
Very eye-catching.
I thought it was really cool how they shot you.
Yeah, it was well. It was not the norm. It was
Not
it was
even
above
close to the
that.
norm.
Exactly. Yeah, that was. And then for the That's a Plan video on it, we went down to Panama or Port St. Joe. Port St. Joe.
Towards Mexico Beach.
Mexico Beach.
Mhm.
Yeah. And so that boat that I'm in, they're the guys are in it, and then they have some solo shots of me, and they're like, "Can you row a boat?" And I said, "Yeah, I can row a boat." What are you talking about? And I get in there. It's a lot. Now they didn't have the clamps on the side, but I mean,
Yeah.
I kept going in a circle. I was like, there's something wrong here with these oars. And so what they ended up having to do is put two divers in on each side to
I didn't
push
know
the
that. I
boat.
forgot that.
Yeah.
There, yeah.
Humbled me quick.
Yeah, I got you, man. That's funny. That's funny.
I've forgotten about all that.
I'll have to see that next time I watch
Yeah,
the
oh, you
video.
can see it. Yeah.
That's
yeah.
great.
It was by the big boardwalk. Also was going
Yep.
the same direction.
Yep, and
as
I
the
remember
boardwalk.
after all that, we went to, that's because it was New Year's. I believe it was New Year's Eve when we were down there. So that's the place where you can have New Year's twice, because the time change is
Yeah.
right. There's a bar
Eastern
there.
and Central.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
Yeah.
that's right.
We had it twice.
Yeah, you celebrate over here this side, and then
Yep,
on
then
the
run
other
over there real
Needed
quick.
any excuse to celebrate twice.
double
Yeah,
whammy.
That's funny. So after the record hit, did you go on the road?
Did I? Yes, I did. We went everywhere. I probably should have had a manager at that point, but I didn't. So,
I tried to help.
yes, you did. So we ended up. See, the hard part about that is when you're on a smaller label, independent label, you don't have anybody to leverage. Like, there's no,
Right.
you know what I mean? And it's so
we'll trade you Reba for these things.
do what?
Yeah, like we'll trade you Reba on this thing.
Yeah. So, I ended up I think I probably did twice as much going everywhere, but needed to, we were new but I can remember like many nights asleep in the airport, waiting for the red eye to get to LA or whatever to make these shows, just laying there going, oh man, do I want to be an artist?
I remember one time y'all were in like Washington State, had to be in Tampa or somewhere the next morning, so y'all were flying all overnight,
Yes.
all the way,
Yep.
just for radio.
Yeah.
That was
It was
just for
tour.
radio.
It's for
that's right.
radio, yeah.
Jump through a lot of hoops,
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, a lot of hoops.
and being a small label more than like another
Yes,
label would
like,
have to do.
yeah.
Yeah, oh
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But Mark hung in there. I
yeah.
give him credit. He
I
Y'all
did
were
my
tough.
best.
you did everything you could do.
Yep.
Yeah,
Did you have Pruitt out there with you on a lot of that? Or
I
was it
did.
John?
I had all.
Brian Pruitt.
I had every drummer that I could have out there playing different instrument than drum.
Yeah.
But it was also one of his really strong points
Oh, yeah.
because when
Yeah.
Mark was so unique and he dressed really cool,
Yeah.
he always had that special kind of
The
hat
backwards hat.
and the glasses
yeah.
and his live performance.
Yep.
If you saw all of that, there's no way you could not
Right.
like it.
Right.
You know, it was
Right.
just
Yeah.
it was that good.
Yeah.
Modern day beatnik.
Yeah, man.
It was great.
But yeah,
That's part
especially
of
it was
it.
just him and Billy Davidson playing the banjo, and then Pruitt or one of them on the little congas and
John.
stuff. It was so unique. It was so cool.
Yeah.
It was that good.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
So-
we had to take. Now the whole drummer thing was
Yeah.
because it started out. I think it was you, Harold, that said, "Can you play live?" Like before, like, and I said, "Yeah." So I don't know how it came up with the djembe. Remember, the first
Yeah,
iteration of
djembe.
it was just a djembe, and or klanyong or whatever
Yeah.
they want to call it. Then it morphed into when John Reynolds started with us, who's very talented. Because there's always an issue with traveling
With one of those.
with stuff getting lost, or especially drums. So what we came up with was this hybrid drum kit that had it was like an electronic hand drum, and then we had real cymbals and a real snare. And that was all triggered with the loops and all of that. And he also played keyboard, so that enabled a way bigger sound from
Yeah,
three pieces.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
And that's
cool.
eventually what it turned into.
Very cool.
Yeah, and it was a different big sound.
Right. So you had guitar in that, and then bass player. No?
We didn't add a bass for a long time.
So you had guitar and drum thing, and what else?
I played guitar. Billy played guitar / banjo.
Right. Okay, that's right.
And then drums, and that's the way we went for a long time.
Wow, that's cool.
That's all you needed.
Yeah,
It was good. It was
We'd
good.
occasionally we'd get questioned about it from some of the sound engineers, like, is that's all you're gonna
Yeah.
that's all you're doing? And we're like, yeah, just plug it in, like, you'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because when those loops kicked in, and especially on one of their own, when that one kicked in,
Yeah.
whoo, man, I'll
I remember
never
too, though,
forget.
even when y'all played live with the full band, y'all didn't even have any cymbals because it just made too much.
Oh yeah, I mean, I
Noise.
hate cymbals
Yeah.
in a way. Like the ringing. If they're those ringy cymbals,
Yeah.
they ring through all the tones and everything. And so I had a real issue with those.
It's that 5K.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just really make a lot of that white noise that just covers
Yeah.
up
Hey,
too
well,
much.
back then, what were you triggering your loops with back then? They didn't have all the stuff they got today.
Oh man, I can't remember the name of that thing, but
Like a Roland, wasn't it?
it was. At some point, it was a Roland, but what was that little thing?
It
was
wasn't a Lynn drum, was it?
No, it was about that big, and I can't remember the name of it. But for a long time, that's how we did it.
Oh,
And
gotcha.
then the Roland hand drum, electronic hand drum,
Yeah.
ended up using that to trigger everything
Gotcha.
through.
That's cool, man. That's
Yeah.
way cool. I never saw it. I wish I had have.
Yeah.
Me too.
And
Yeah.
and in the very beginning, we had an echo. It was a Fisher space expander, and it was used in a Hammond organ mainly.
Yeah.
But it was a great echo system.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
That's
those
cool.
were cool.
Yeah.
Those were real cool. Well, so how long? So everything's going great, and then 9/11 hit. How long before was it before the label was over and everything?
Well, this is what I don't know exactly all the particulars, but I know that at some point, I got a call and said, "Hey, you need to go make a second record." Like, I'm like, "Okay, well, I got the songs, I'm ready." Like, and I don't know, I was busy doing something, and I got another call. Said, "No, really, like, you need to go make the record." And so I didn't know at that point what was going on.
Yeah.
So
We didn't really know at that point.
right. Nobody knew.
Nobody knew. That's right.
Um, And then I got a call from my lawyer, Stephen Gladstone. And he said, hey, I'm hearing that there's something going on over there with money. What have you heard? And I said, well, nothing, I don't know. So anyways, all through this, so we go in and we make the record. And it's that second record with Benny and Rosie and
oh man,
I know
Benny
Benny and
and Rosie.
Yeah.
And Mrs. O'Leary's cow.
Mrs.
yeah,
O'Leary's
yeah, that's a
other Al
good record.
Capone?
Like that,
the other
it was
Al
ready to go.
It was ready. That's right.
It
to
was
go.
ready.
We even, as a matter of fact, we even pressed up Benny and Rosie singles to send out, I think, and then that was kind of it. It one thing after another, it sort of fizzled out. But
did you write that, Benny and Rosie?
Uh-huh. Yeah, me and Bill Davidson wrote it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's probably one of yours, right?
It's not, but that song came up when you were doing those other Alabama sides.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's a hit,
Right.
Benny and Rosie.
Yep.
Forgot about that song.
Yeah.
God,
What a great
dang.
song. No, I didn't have that one.
Yeah, when he whispers,
Yeah.
"I love you," she hears Shakespeare, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Really cool song.
I remember writing that song over there with over on Chickering, where I used to live over in Chickering. Billy and I lived over in Chickering Road in the lady's house and Mama's house. That Mama. Yeah, she.
It's just so well written.
I appreciate that.
I don't know, Mama.
Mama is Sharon Lane. She since passed away, but she was one of the creators of Married with Children, that show.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yep.
and so
I was going to say, you living on Chickering, you were doing better than you're telling me.
right, exactly. Yeah, that was a fun period there.
Yeah.
But as far as when all of that ended, I always just thought, well, we got to go. I mean, it's going to end up somewhere. It's got to happen. But I've heard so many. I don't know exactly what happened, Harold, but I've heard so many different stories, so many different things. Like, there was a point where possibly I could have gone to Sony at some point. They had maybe offered, but it just something, I don't know. It never worked out. I don't know exactly why or how, and that it just, a beautiful chapter was done.
Yeah, the rest of the story. Well, tonight you're going to hear the rest of the story, folks. No, okay.
At least the parts we can tell.
Yeah. So do we know? Does anybody know what happened in the end then? With the
It's
label and
always
everything?
there's always only one thing that happens. It's always about the money.
Yep.
Yeah, that was right.
It got swallowed up in the in the deal somewhere.
Chapter 13 is what happened.
We had the ingredients, but we were short on cash.
Man.
And
Well, that's the
we
sad
did
part
have
about the
we had
music
funding when we started, and it was, well, I don't mind telling you, it was supposed to be a certain figure, but it didn't turn out that way.
Yeah.
And I'm not here to place blame, but
Yeah,
Sure.
but as they say, it's always about the money.
You're
Yeah.
right. That's always the story. Every single time.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Yeah, it
what I
is.
tell all these young artists, that the music business is like a jukebox. You got to put money in it to make it play, and it's always been true and always will be. It's just the way it is. But
It's always been the same story.
And had we had a fraction of what we started with, we would have been okay, because Mrs. Steve and Rudy had sold at that time close to 200,000 albums. So
We're fixing to recoup a little.
we were starting to
See it
get
come back
get level, and
Yeah, man.
but unfortunately it didn't pan out.
No, it took me a like it was over, and I sort of thought,
in a way,
but then it was, it took me a while to get to come to grips with that.
well, it's unfair in a way, to the artist to not be able to do what
we were doing,
what we were supposed to be able to do.
Yeah.
What the potential was for that, because it should have been a monster 2 records, and then some. Now the what
That
was
one
it? Remember
that I wrote on the way back
that he and
from
Billy and them wrote on the way back.
from
You remember that, the 9/11 song they wrote on the way back? From
Yeah.
LA?
which USA Today had said this is the best 9/11 song you'll never hear.
Wow.
Yeah, it's true.
What was that called? Do you remember?
It's called no, I'll never hear it. I can't even
Yeah, when
remember
y'all
the
drove
name.
back from California.
We wrote it on the way back, went into the studio.
What the hell was
Chris Carmichael did some beautiful strings on it. Oh man, so good. But then I started thinking, God, I'm gonna seem like a dick, like trying to put, like, if we put this out, and everyone's going, no, put it out, gotta put this out. It would have been the first one out before Alan Jackson, before all of them, because we had it, we were ready to go with it. And I was like, and now I remember Nancy calling me, are you sure you don't want to put this out? Like, and I was like, no, I don't want to seem like taking advantage of this situation. Now, in hindsight, everyone else came out with songs.
Sure.
More beautiful.
More Beautiful Today. Yeah, More Beautiful Today.
Oh, is that the name of it?
Yeah.
Oh, I know that song. Yeah, we got to take a break.
Okay.
Okay, Jeffrey.
Those great big speakers you had.
Yeah,
And-
clips.
Yeah.
Oh, your music mill office.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah, I loved listening.
And had that great Macintosh amplifier. It was really tuned in.
Yeah.
That
we
was a
listened.
good place.
We would sit and listen to
The
stuff.
music mill office.
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
And, get tuned in.
Yeah, man.
And like an idiot,
I know
I
what you
sold
mean.
all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have sold any
Yeah.
of it, but I did.
I was in that building for 11 years, and after I'd come to work with Harold a year or so later, he went to Mercury Records. So,
Did awful over there, too.
yeah. But anyway, where Harold's desk was, where Harold's desk was in the office, there was a closet behind him there, a door with a closet. And I never went behind his desk ever, even when he wasn't there. If I went to his office, so like he had one of the earliest VCRs I ever saw up there. And we had a video. We go in his office and watch it. I didn't spend time in his office even when he was at Mercury because it was his office, but I'd do stuff like that. So we were trying to find something one day, a contract for a song years later, and he said, "Go look in that closet behind my desk. There's some boxes in there." And I said, "Okay." I'd never been back there. I went behind his desk, opened it up, and if you're down in the lobby of the music mill, you look up there and there's kind of glass up there. Well, you can see right through there, and you can kind of look at everything there. I went, I didn't know this was here. This is again like the Wizard of Oz.
Keeping tabs on everybody.
I'm looking down at everybody. I called him. I said, I had no idea. I thought it was just a closet. I had 9 years. I never knew it was there.
It's a really We had some great times up there.
Some big stuff happened in that office,
But
man.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
To
Blue
touch
Music,
on what we were talking about earlier, the tape's not on, is it?
yeah.
Oh, is it?
You started, yeah. We can do it. No,
Well,
we can cut it if we need.
it's not for public broadcast.
Okay, we got it. We're not going to
Edit.
we were talking earlier about what happened,
Yeah.
and it's all about the money. And sometimes things happen, and that makes absolutely no sense.
Right.
And I'll give you this example of that, and then I won't dwell on it. And don't let
we won't do it.
But when I went to Mercury in '88, and I don't mean this in a boastful manner, I'm going to make a point
Yeah.
as to how things wind up like they do. And I went there in '88, and I was hired by in my opinion, one of the greatest record men ever at Mercury out of New York, Mr. Dick Asher, who his name everybody knew. And so a year after I went to Mercury, he was president of Mercury North America, and the second year there was a new president, and he was gone. And he had signed John Bon Jovi, Def Leppard, and 2 or 3 other just monster acts. And then when he came down and hired me, and I asked him what he expected of me, and he said, I want to make Mercury a viable country record label, and to show you what happens sometimes that you have no control over.
Yeah.
In '88, when I went to Mercury that year, they did $8 million. 4.5 years later, we were doing $70 million a year. And they put a guy in over us to show us what we were doing wrong. So that's what happened.
Brilliance.
Yeah.
And there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
It's, you know,
Yeah. No, I know.
it's an unpredictable business.
Yeah.
Very true.
Unfortunately, if we'd had that money just from '88, would have been okay.
Yeah.
And we thought we had that. But as
Right.
it turned out, we didn't.
That's right.
I don't.
There's nothing,
That's
nothing
the
to
way it
do.
is, you know.
What
Yeah.
year did you sign KT? Awesome.
84, 6,
6, I think.
86.
Yeah.
85 or 86, I can't remember. It's right
But
before I got
I
there.
went to Berkeley and I signed Sammy Kershaw, Kentucky Headhunters, Toby and Shania,
Billy Ray.
Cyrus, and got Kathy Mattea her first
Mm-hmm.
big
Oh.
hit.
Mhm.
She became Female Vocalist of the Year.
Mhm.
Headhunters became Group of the Year,
Mhm.
won a Grammy.
You were
sold
sloughing off,
15 million
Harold.
records.
Yeah, Harold lost his mind again. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
5, 6 times.
I
8
mean,
times in a row.
we were, as you say, we were killing them, you know.
You
Yeah.
think?
But then a new boss over me
Mhm.
comes in. He wants his own people.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what you did.
Yeah.
You're out.
Yeah. they
My
want-
guy's in.
Yeah.
Yep.
Unbelievable.
That's what happens.
Yeah.
And there's nothing you can do
No.
about it.
It's the ultimate musical chairs.
It's
It really is.
It's a tough business, yeah.
It
And it's
is.
just as tough
It's corporate. Yeah.
on that side as it is
Yeah.
like we started, you know,
Mhm.
independent. It's tough as an independent, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, because as an independent, how did I have it explained? Your money doesn't spend as well as a major's money
Correct.
Good way to put it,
Yeah.
Mark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
because you don't. They don't know how long you're going to be around. They
Well,
know
it doesn't buy as much for one
right.
thing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of Sammy, I remember I played a show in Minneapolis at the Coliseum there, and I'd opened up for him, and it was it was just me and guitar, and he had his full band and everything, and it was a good show. I played a good show, and so after the show, they said, "Hey, Sammy wants to see you on his bus." I said, "Oh, okay." And I walked up, and it was a big, beautiful white, beautiful bus. And I go in there, and I say, "Hey, Sammy, how you doing?" He goes, "Good, oh, good. Hey, let me ask you something. So you just go out there with that guitar, and you and your guitar and play?" I said, "Well, yeah." He said, "Well, how does that work exactly?" I said, "Well, it's I just learn the songs, and when I go out there and I play." And he said, "And so you don't pay a band or anything?" And I said, no, I mean, it's just me and my guitar. And he said, damn, I'm going to have to figure that out. Oh, yeah. Yeah, he was a hoot.
Great story.
Well, Bobby, we haven't heard from you. How did you get to Nashville, Tennessee? And what brought you here? And what caused you to stay?
I'm still trying to figure all that out. I'm in the 35th year of my 4th trip here. Always
Really?
in
Go,
Bandera,
man.
Texas. But
How did you meet with these guys? How did you meet
Moseley
them?
and I grew up together in Bandera from
Okay.
he was in 5th grade, I was in 7th, and he came up here to go to college at Belmont, and that was our first trip up here to hang out with him. And I'd come up different years back and forth, and I'd live for a while, and then I'd move back. And my brother and I even living on Jerry Chestnut's ranch one time. You know Jerry.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for about 6 months. Good learning experience and
Yeah.
learning a lot of things.
He wrote some great songs.
yeah, he
man,
did.
He was a funny
Good year
guy.
for the
He
Roses.
was funny.
Yeah. But we also had another buddy. You might have ever met Lore Orion, big guy, tall guy, black hat. He was in that band Bandera, not Bandana, but Bandera.
Yeah.
And
He was in Cattle too, wasn't he?
yeah,
Yeah.
he's the creator. He and I created Cattle.
Yeah.
But back and forth several trips, and in '89 I was running away from an ex-wife, and I said, you know what, I'm going to go to Nashville and I'm going to stay this time, and so I did. And thankfully, not long after that, Henry Hurt signed me over at BMG to a publishing deal, and my publishing deal meant that I ran the tape room. And the greatest learning experience of all time.
Well, that
That's
is.
Yeah,
It really
man.
is.
John Hyatt and Beth Chapman and Foster
Got to
and
start
Lloyd
somewhere, yeah.
and Hugh
Yeah.
Presswood. So I was in there
Hugh
about a year.
Presswood.
Yeah.
What a good writer.
Ooh.
he is.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
About a year in there, and I my wife was working for Reba, so I pitched a song over there one day. I put it on her desk because I talked to Reba all the time, and
Yeah.
she cut it. A song Joe Doyle and Rick Peoples wrote, and then Henry said, "Well, we need another plugger, so why don't you just come on?" So I did that for about 3 years, and that was another great learning experience. You know, when you're going and facing Jimmy Bowen and Ray Pillow and all those guys, learn a lot there too. And
Yeah.
in the meantime, a couple of things I had written got cut. The Alabama thing in pictures, and then I had a cut on Martina called "Swinging Doors," and then I had a pretty big record on Aaron Tippin called "Working Man's PhD."
Yep.
So that all
Oh.
came about, and I jumped back into writing, and then I fell out of my deal and fell out, and I was back in roofing and all that when I ran into Marcus Hummon one day at BMG, and he said, "Hey, Rascal Flatts cut our song, Bless the Broken Road, and they're going to single it." And that was in 2003, 2004.
That's who we couldn't think of earlier. I said he wrote that.
Yeah.
What was the other writer? We never
Yeah,
could
well,
remember.
Marcus and Jeff.
Marcus
Hanna.
Hummon.
Yeah.
And so that put me back in it. And, that's
Won a
20 years
Grammy.
ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
He's
we
the
were-
guy I went to see the night I signed the head.
That's right. I forgot that. That was okay.
Who'd you go to see?
Marcus.
Marcus, yeah.
Yeah, Marcus was good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
he
was
was.
on Sony. He was on
Yeah.
Sony at the time.
Yeah.
Good guy, too.
Yeah.
And then, so that's kind of my story, and I stayed up
Yeah.
there
So how did you meet
through Jeff.
Jeff?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
started writing together, and
Man, we wrote a bunch of songs. We wrote all the time.
But back then, I couldn't leave my cigarettes and my beer alone for 5 minutes, so I'd lay in his apartment with my head in the fireplace and smoke
Oh, yeah, I
cigarettes.
forgot about
had my
that.
ice chest sitting right there.
I forgot about that.
No
Hey,
smoking.
We had a great time. We wrote a lot of great songs, and I could always bring an off the wall idea to Mark, and he would know how to make it work.
Yeah, yeah.
So that the angels
Mrs.
must be watching
O'Leary's
over one of
cow,
their
he knows
own,
how to
and
do
those
that
kind of
stuff.
things. Were all
Yeah.
brought him in, and we'd sit and figure them out. So,
What was
Great.
that place you had? But you had an office over by Sammy B's too, at one time.
I don't know. I had one on 16th over there, but that was not back then. I don't think. I don't know. And every time I came in and sat down, y'all called it my perch.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Bob's on
purged.
his perch.
See, but those kind of stories to me are what made the music grow. And I don't want to go back and live in the past, but
Yeah.
you can say God Bless a Broken Road, and you can say Working Man's PhD, and go through the ones. But all those years of writing all those songs that you never quit doing, and I know you still do today.
Yeah.
And I met a bunch of people that I worked with over the years that were like you, real songwriters. I'm a hack, I play it, but you guys are real writers, And I'll say, "What are you doing?" "Oh, they're not going to pay me. I'm not going to write songs." And I'm going, "Well, man, I mean, my buddy Tony Hazel, we talk about, he never quit writing songs. Never.
No, you can't.
You
You know, guys that write songs. You know,
I
it's
try
like,
to quit about 5 times every day, but can't do it.
yeah, it's easier to quit cigarettes, like you said. Yeah, you know.
You'll stop, and then about an hour later, you'll have an idea rolling in your head
Yep.
that won't leave you alone. But
So
yeah.
what is the biggest change you guys see from 20 years ago?
Oh Lord, there's just one. I mean, right now you can't get a song in edgewise because all the young artists are all writing their own songs, and they're encouraged by management and labels to do it.
And there's 6 writers on a song.
6 to 9 writers on every song, and you know, if somebody suggests one beat, they get a writer's credit. You know, the row's not there anymore. Like in the old days, you know, we used, you know, run up and down the alley, and you could find anybody you needed to see within a day or two. Or you could go hang out at publishing offices, and it's not there anymore.
There is no there.
The camaraderie is
sad.
not
So
there,
everything's
is it?
done by internet and Zoom, and you know, we even write songs over Zoom, which is just really weird. But you know, we had to make it work. There's so many changes now that it's sad.
Yeah.
Do you feel like the songs overall meet the same criteria?
If you're talking about radio, no.
No, they all like they pretty much are all the ones that I've listened to are, you know, it's whiskey this and whiskey that and
Tailgates.
I mean,
Broke.
I don't know. I don't mean to sound like a curmudgeon or anything, but I mean I definitely think there's I think just because of how music is done, you know, you have to. I mean, you almost have to come out of there with a finished product from the writing session that's ready. You know, that's how it's done now. You know, you don't. I mean, there's songs I can remember that taken years to write, and you just don't have that. That's not a luxury that you have. It's like right now, let's get it done. Let's get it, you know. So a lot of it's half-assed.
Yeah, put all the loops in.
Yeah,
Everything's.
yeah.
You walk out the door with kind of a demo.
You know what? Ed C. was in here this morning. We were talking about, because, you know, he's still very much a viable engineer. He does a lot of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And he was saying that he's starting to see, just recently, more sessions with players again and stuff, and less in the box, you know?
Yeah.
And it may be a moment in time. It may be nothing, but you know, to me, and again, not better or worse, just more of that again, you know. And as we're talking about these things, I want to add one thing that I think, and I've said this a couple times, and see if you even agree with me, because I've talked to Harold about this as well. You know, a lot of same stuff today, but you know what I see, and I think you and I talked about this, in the 90s and the early 2000s when we were all making records and stuff, you'd watch the charts, and there'd be this group of songs right here that were vying, going up the charts, vying for those positions, and they were all really good songs. That's pretty good, you know?
Yeah.
And then we had the few every year that were up here in the unusuals. God bless the Broken Road. It was not one of the real good ones. It was one of the few great ones, you know?
Yeah.
And those ones that were the great big records, you know, stuck out. You know, Mrs. Steve and Rudy, it didn't, because of everything that happened, but it was one that stuck out. People remember. I named the other 20 that were below it at that time. Most people won't be able to now.
Yeah.
Had you all been in a position, it would be one of those ones everybody remember forever, and they might even so. But it was different and stuck out. And there was always a handful of those. And then we had what the phrase, again, that Ed C. coined way back then, we always called the booger eaters underneath, you know, we called them. They got up there somehow, but never got quite up in that thing. But they were there, you know, because they
label
were
money pushing.
Money.
whatever got them there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, see, we don't have that today.
Yeah, I mean-
it's all they're all good. They're all well written today.
Right.
They're in
Well,
there.
we were all-
a lot of
we
the
were
same
in the-
stuff, but there aren't those great big really good ones.
Yeah.
But there's also no booger eaters anymore.
We
to
were
me.
in the era of the, you know, Bob McDills and the
Right.
Hugh Presswoods and the Alan Shamblin. And
Right.
Just that's what any true writer is wanting to be and wanting to learn how to do that.
Yeah.
And those things don't come out in 45 minutes. I know
Yeah.
McDill made people stay in there for 8 hours.
Bob
on the
McGill was great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Harlan Howard
You know,
was
it was
great.
worth
Yep.
it. Yeah, Harlan.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
mean, think.
I'm thankful we had some great writers
Yeah,
to
man.
learn
Bobby
from.
Braddock. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I mentioned
Curly
Tony,
Putnam.
Curly, yeah.
Yeah.
I mentioned Tony Hazen a lot because I worked with him
Oh, I
forever.
loved Hazen.
But you know, Tony would walk up and down the halls of music. You know, I remember, you remember the minimum delivery? I never did those.
Oh, yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
believe in that.
Yeah.
And so people talk about Tony doesn't have minimum delivery. No, he wrote 13 songs last year, but 12 of them were cut and 3 of them were top fives.
Yeah.
You know, and he would
Presswood-
walk up and down the halls and say, "Man, I'm never going to get another idea
Yeah,
again."
Hugh Presswood would
Yeah.
sit over there at BMG. He'd turn in about 10 songs
Yep.
a year, and then Todd Wilkes would be blasting them down the hall. Just some of the greatest stuff you ever heard. And his demos were so unique.
Right.
They could almost been a record themselves. They were so different.
Yeah, and that's the point. The idea. Give
Right.
me an
And we
idea
had
to
Mike
write.
Reed over there. Mike Reed is just, mind-boggling.
Mike
Yeah.
is
The
great.
material.
Is Todd still around?
Yeah,
Todd?
I just saw him last week. He's working out of Johnny Morris's building over here on
okay.
16th. Yeah.
I don't know where anybody is anymore.
I
I,
don't
mean,
either.
to one of your,
Yeah.
I think your point. There's no row. There's no. You can't find anybody.
Yeah.
You know, I wouldn't even know how to go get a writing deal. I mean, I don't know who you talk to.
Well,
I
I'm
mean,
not sure you'd want one now. I mean, honestly, all it does is you give them all your money and you get a little bit out of it anymore. You
Yeah,
got to kind
well,
of do it yourself and
You got to have
own your own catalog.
Yeah, you got to have some stuff streaming. They got to see an income stream already they can tap into.
Right.
Which 2 guys are you working with all the time? And you know, it's really a better business model than we had because we hit on 2 out of 10, but it was all based on this, of course,
Yeah.
But again, I don't think we get those 3 up here at the top ever,
never.
To me,
Yeah.
anyway.
No, I agree. I think that's. There's just no going up to, where Juan Contreras worked, and where everybody gathered. There's none of that. There's no people to learn from for the youngsters to come in and learn from because they don't really care. Like it's.
Ronnie Gant.
There's no trial by fire
Well, they're
anymore.
all looking for that 45-minute song right, and then and to have a song shoot on the charts immediately.
You know,
And they're not
A&R
looking for longevity or a
Yeah.
I Hope You Dance or Breathe or something of that.
Yeah,
level.
like you need to get smacked around a little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah, a lot of
Yeah, a lot
it
of
in
it.
order
And again,
to know your way. you know.
Not better or worse. It was just different. But the one thing I'll say, and I reminded of a story when you said Ronnie Gant just now. So Don Gant was a real good friend of mine, and just a great guy early on.
Talented.
And Mike Geiger told me a story. Speaking about A&R and about being there, Mike Geiger said that he and Woody would come up from Florida, and they got to know Don Gant. And Don liked him. He said, "Okay," he said, "bring me a bunch of songs." He said, "and I'll give you $500 a song. When you bring them in, if I sign them, I'll give you $500 a song. If we get enough of them, I'll sign you a deal." So they went home and wrote like crazy for 2 or 3 months. They came back up and brought 20 songs up, and they played all 20 for him, for Don, for Gant. He said, "That's great." He called the secretary and said, "Write them a check for $5,000. He said, "Well, wait a minute. There's 20 songs here. That's $10,000." He said, "There's 20 songs here." He said, "Nope. There's 10 songs here. The other 10 aren't songs. Get them out, immediately, And so I think the point is, again, A&R, somebody say, here's what's wrong, here's what's not good, and I think there's a lack of that, whatever it is. And I'm not saying any of us were better or worse. Well, maybe I am, but I think that's just not a thing they do today. It's all about business. It's like buying and selling real estate. We can go see what the numbers are and run comps here. And if it's numbers right, we can do a deal with you, which is a good business model, I guess, But I don't think you ever get those great big ones that nobody would have picked because they would say, he's lost his mind signing that. We'd never do that. Would you sign that old woman, that 45-year-old woman? Would you? A band in country music, a guy that has a funny ponytail and does a goofy dance.
I don't know that there's any real record men like Harold left.
Well, I don't think so
take
myself.
A chance on it.
Yeah,
would be willing to go to bat for somebody that's different and unique.
That's the point. Yeah,
and that's a sad place to be.
Yeah,
because it is all numbers. It's all internet. It's all social media numbers.
Yeah.
who can get on TikTok.
It's a different business plan.
But they're also learning that a lot of these TikTok stars can't perform and can't
Right.
sing, so they're getting knocked off when the audiences find out they have no
Well,
talent.
I think you see that from America's Got Talent or some of those singing
Yeah.
head
Yep.
shows. That I mean, I can't remember. Like, there's not a lot of them that have any kind of career
Right.
that lasts. If I
Carrie
can't,
Underwood,
Carrie
Kelly
Underwood.
Clarkson, and that's about.
Yeah, I mean, it's like
how
from
many
all
out of
those years.
How many
Yeah.
thousand?
You'd think there'd be all over the place.
Well,
Yeah.
again,
All
here's the
known.
problem.
Yeah.
Here's the problem to me, my opinion, is that there's gatekeepers that let them on that show. You know?
Oh, it's definitely
And the truth of the matter,
Yeah.
those gatekeepers wouldn't have passed Billy Ray through.
Right.
They wouldn't have passed the Beatles through there. They were too weird and different. Or Elvis. They wouldn't have got through the process.
Right.
They wouldn't have passed me
so
through.
again, you get that group I'm talking about that's
Yeah.
really good. They're good, you know.
Yeah.
But you don't get those weird ones that are great because those people, you know, that's the whole point. No A&R, to me, in my humble opinion.
Right. Right.
Well, recently, a great example of that, in the last month, there was a young man from Louisiana named John Foster,
Yeah.
and who really should have won it hands down.
Sure.
But he didn't because of the politics
Right.
of all of it. But he's one of the few guys that's ever been on any of those shows that I thought really was
Right.
a talented artist,
Yeah.
you know. I know Carrie Underwood's had a great career, Kelly Clarkson,
Yeah.
but I don't know anyone
Yeah,
else.
all the others evaporated after they got it. But
Mm-hmm.
you know, so many of them, they have talent, but they don't have any soul. There's nothing behind it. Like Mark was saying, there's nothing there. There's no. They haven't
What was
lived
it?
any life.
Nashville
Yes.
Star
They haven't
came
had
out.
any pain.
As
you
they
know?
say, what? No, there.
Yeah.
no, they're,
Yeah, you
no,
know-
no it.
Again, and then I'm going to be quiet because this is one of the things I get fired up about.
Yeah,
There-
me
there-
too.
One of the things.
There's a
right?
famous guy named Professor Deming, very famous man, philosopher. He's the guy that we sent over after World War II to rebuild Japan.
Yeah.
And you know, Japan, when I was a kid, maybe not when you were a kid, when I was a kid, you remember when you got a product from Japan, it said made in Japan, it was a piece of junk.
Crap. Yeah.
That changed with Professor Deming. All of a sudden, Yamaha and Nissan happened, and,
Yeah.
and there's the best award you can win in Japan. Even today is the Deming Award for the best product. Very famous guy. And he had a famous statement. He had a set of rules, and one of the rules was don't ever ask the public what they want because they don't know. And and early on, this is a long time
Tell
ago,
'em.
he said, "You think I'm wrong? How many of them you think said, give me a microwave oven?" They never saw that before. They couldn't have
Yeah.
asked for
They
that.
wouldn't know.
And yet we have TV shows where the public decides.
Yeah.
And all they can do is regurgitate what they've already
Right.
seen and heard.
Yeah.
Right.
If they haven't seen a guy with a ponytail singing a 2-chord song that's stupid, they can't say "give me that" because they don't know.
They don't
You know, if they
There's
hadn't seen
one-
him playing banjos with loops and
There's
stuff.
an exception though when they put Chris Stapleton on that award show, the public did respond
They
because he was
did.
real. He had great voice, great songs.
but we
Justin
did.
Timberlake put him on there,
That's
and that's
right.
why everybody tuned in.
That's right.
And when they saw him, they went, "Wow, we got to have this guy." And I think
Right.
a week later, he sold 1 million
Sure,
records already.
sure.
But yeah, you're right though.
Yeah.
But he did have a different sound.
Yeah, he
yeah.
did.
Well, I mean, he was so
He was
unique.
identifiable.
Yeah, he was so
Yeah.
unique and talented that they couldn't deny
But
him.
one person made a call and said, "I want him on here."
Yeah.
That's again a difference.
Well,
You know,
it's,
it's not the
Justin
committee.
Timberlake had to do it. Nobody else.
That's
would have
right.
done it.
That's
Let's
right.
start a record company.
Let's do it. You want to make another
That's
record?
almost
Yeah,
as bad,
let's
that's almost
go.
as bad as, hey, let's start a band.
We'll get you a full band this time.
No,
Wade, producer Wade, you got the contract over there?
Yeah.
He's got it, man.
Get you a whole
Yeah.
band. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, most importantly, do you have a money man?
Well, some of that money that Ed didn't have when y'all worked with him at VFR, we had already spent because he was back in a management crew that had Tim McGraw and a bunch of people signed, and Jeff was working for him, and I was kind of tied in with him at BMG.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So they were managing
A lot of things going on.
managing a lot of artists. Who else did y'all have over there? I mean, they were smart. They had McGraw.
Yeah, I signed McGraw and his first deal, well, to a management company, and he had a deal on
With
Curb, but he had just got signed because of his dad was Tug McGraw.
Mhm.
But he had done an album that just wasn't going to do
I remember
anything.
that
And
record, yeah.
But then
Yeah.
I took him to Byron Gallimore, who was just starting
And
to
I
work
found,
with James
um,
Stroud. Over here where Chewy's is now. We had lunch over there and
Yeah.
introduced him. And then he later
Byron
on,
is a good guy.
Yeah.
well, I knew
Byron's
Byron because
He
had
made
done
some good
sides
records.
on my brother, but he was kind of, at the time he was too country, so with him and Stroud was perfect together.
I found Indian Outlaw. Well, Tim and I found it together.
And then Jeff showcased him.
Yeah,
And
that was his
showcased
first
him.
hit. wasn't it? Indianapolis.
That was a big one.
Yeah.
We had a song on that album. Here's another connection we all have here.
Yeah.
We had a song on that record that we co-published that his uncle wrote, and it was a song that, I'll be honest here, I really didn't like much. That's saying it nicely. And it was a Mark Peterson song he had written with Jimmy Foster, and they kept wanting us to pitch it everywhere, and I didn't get it. I did, but I didn't go in like I usually pitch. Oh my God! And he got it on Tim McGraw, and it was the #1 record.
Nice.
Refried Dreams.
Refried
He got it
Dreams,
cut, yeah.
I got it cut.
Yeah.
See,
I
so
like
again,
that one. That
but
was
a
good
matter
one.
of somebody going, I believe in this.
Yeah. Well,
You
no,
know, that's
I mean,
the whole
you
point.
can sit in a room with guys like this. There's always a connection. Like you're talking about Kershaw. Buddy Cannon played him for me when y'all were first signing him.
Uh-huh.
About 6 months later, I took She Don't Know She's Beautiful over there, dropped it off, and before I could go around the corner to BMG, Buddy had called and said, on hold,
Oh,
Sammy,
cool.
gonna be his first #1 song ever.
Wow.
And it was.
Wow.
And then Jimmy and them wrote Don't Go Near the Water, which
Yep.
was a big song for Sammy.
Yep.
So it's these connections
Oh, yeah.
in this
Yeah,
town.
yeah,
Every
yeah.
time you get in a room full of guys like us, you're going to find all kinds of connections.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun.
Yep. No kidding.
But it's all about, it all revolves around songs,
Songs.
you know, still.
No doubt about it.
Yep.
You can't do anything without the songs.
No.
Yep. You know, this is something.
Like a car with no gas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess it was still there when you were going up to the music mill or VFR for you to Harold's office. Did he still have the big box over there full of tapes
Yeah.
to his desk?
Absolutely.
And his desk was stacked about this high. Okay, with
Yeah.
all the music and stuff.
I don't think anybody had a bigger box than Alan Reynolds did.
Yeah, probably so. But
Oh,
anyway,
really?
yeah, big one.
Do you have a big box?
Several of them,
Yeah. So anyway, Harold had that big box there. It looked like an old refrigerator box. Somebody cut in half. You got a refrigerator,
Yeah.
and it was just full of stuff. And I'll never forget. Speaking of being just, this is what I do.
Yeah.
Whether I get paid or not, this is what I do.
Yeah.
It's my passion. So VFR was over. They had sold the building sometime later, and I had Tony Hazel and I had opened a little publishing company, and that was over in the Joe Talbot building, not far from there. And Harold called me one day and said, "Hey, my last day over here is Thursday. You want to go get lunch?" And I said, "Absolutely." So I came over to pick him up for lunch, and of course I went to Buzz, and of course nobody answered. Nobody was there, you know. So finally Harold, I heard it and came down and let me in. He said, "Come on up for a second, man." So I said, "Okay." So we went upstairs. All the stuff was off the walls. It was so weird going up there. We went in his office, and he said, "I want to play you a song." He was up there listening to songs. He wasn't producing anybody, wasn't running the label. You got to hear this song, you know. And it's like,
Yeah.
isn't that why we did this? Isn't
Yeah.
that what made us do this?
It's in
He's
the
a real
blood,
record
baby.
man. He's a
Yeah,
record man
exactly.
and a song man. And,
Exactly.
you know, I love the documentary with, like, Clive Davis, because that's what he did. His desk was covered with tapes all the
Yep.
time.
Yep.
And he's in there listening to song after song after song and finding the hits that made his artist huge.
Yep.
And that's the deal.
That
you know?
is the deal. Yep.
Yeah, I can remember you had your box of tape songs.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Arky Blue.
Yeah, you had a
Yeah.
song box too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he brought up a song exactly. Same thing.
Red
Though.
One X?
He brought up a song to me today that he played me, got to be 30 years ago, and I wondered. I couldn't remember. I knew he played it, but I've thought about that song 100 times. I don't have a copy of it, and I've thought about a bunch. Not a bunch, but it comes up occasionally. I go, I got to remember whose song that was. I got to ask him that. And he brought it up the other night again. I went, oh my God, I got to get a copy of that song. I wondered about it 100. You know,
Yeah.
those the people. You know, this songs. Yeah, getting excited about. Huh?
Yeah.
That's the
No, that's like the day we were talking about Tony Hazel and that
Yeah.
song, That's Me. Just that song just levels me. that
Yeah.
Martina cut.
Yeah.
That was him and that Bob guy wrote.
yeah.
What a great song.
Yeah.
And that's
Well,
a classic
we-
old style
Yeah.
song, you know.
We were all in the business when it was a great business
Yeah.
to be in.
Yep.
And we had a lot of success and
Yep.
a lot of fun and a
Lot
lot
of
of good
fun.
times and
Yeah.
And can make money back.
still got the same buddies and
Yeah.
still love the music.
That's why we're here.
There's a lot to be said for that, you know.
Yeah, man.
And,
Yeah, it's
and still got guys like Mark and his talent that's willing to hang out with us. So
Yeah.
Oh,
we're doing
shoot.
okay, man.
You were in the studio the other day when I called you. You said.
Yeah, I
What's
was putting down some acoustic guitar, just playing a little bit on a local guy's record.
Yeah.
Um,
Are you still writing songs?
oh yeah. I did. I had Will. You know what? Willie Nelson cut a song I wrote a couple of years ago called "Whiskey and Water." Speaking of whiskey,
Whiskey and Water.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's real. And that was pretty cool to have him cut that. They said, I'll never forget this. They said he listened to that 3 or 4 times in a row, which he never does, and he wanted to play his guitar. So I've got the
Trigger?
he did about 3 passes on this, but
Oh,
it's
man.
it was pretty cool.
That's iconic, dude. That's
yeah,
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
crazy.
But I always say, because I've written a song for George Jones on his last record is with Frimmer,
Yeah.
and then he passed away, and I was like, dang, I hope Willie's okay after cutting this song.
Killing them off.
That's a little cold blooded. No.
Mark McGuinn's killing them off.
Yeah, man.
You got a George Jones cut.
Yeah, like it, and they're both totally opposite of what I would probably put out as an artist, maybe, but they're dirt country. I mean,
Nothing wrong with that.
No.
yeah,
Yeah, but you
dirt country. I
Love-
always wrote that
man,
kind of
George
stuff.
You were a writer first.
Yeah.
And that-
Yeah.
you
I could
write
listen to
anything.
George all day,
Yeah.
every day.
Yeah.
So good.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know, that's so odd that you never thought you weren't really doing the artist thing when all this stuff happened. We had Ed C in here this morning. He was talking about Paul Davis. If you remember Paul Davis,
Oh, yeah.
and they started in Atlanta, and he was going to be a writer, and he was telling the story, and kind of not totally unlike your deal, that they were doing some demos, and Paul had this song "I Go Crazy," and there was no session players in Atlanta, so he and Ed built a little track, and finished the demo, and they were going to go pitch it to somebody in L.A. Remember that, Harold? He told us this in New York. And Eileen Burnser in the label said, "No, this is a record. You're going to finish this." Well, I don't know if I want to be an artist. And all of a sudden,
he
boom.
He didn't want to be an artist,
Yeah.
from what I understand. But
That's what Ed was saying. Yeah.
he wrote over there when I was at BMG. Archie Jordan wrote over there, and he and Paul wrote a couple songs, and the charts on them looked like a calculus exam.
Oh, I bet.
You know,
Yeah.
Major fifth, diamond, this. And,
Yeah.
oh, it was
Yeah.
crazy. I don't even know how the musicians got through them.
Yeah. That's crazy. Oh my God. Well, I'm guessing we ought to be hearing some of these songs you're writing too, huh? You probably meant to play them for us. Before
Soon.
we got
Oh
here.
yeah, no, I didn't.
Soon. If you ain't back in it, we're gonna get you back.
Yeah,
in it.
man.
Ooh, I wouldn't know where to start. I don't really know.
I do. We'll get you back in.
It's like the-
I've written a whole bunch. I mean, I got a whole bunch written. I just, I'm just, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just writing songs. They're just piling up.
Me and
Don't
this guy,
stop writing.
Me and him are working on some stuff. And
We did.
Me and him are working
Yeah,
on some
man.
stuff. We'll get you back in this game.
The next step is to get them on a CD.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
Nowadays, just get them on a thumb drive. Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
But yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I like I said, it's such a different world. But you just never stop writing. My phone is so full of stuff.
That's good.
Ideas and
Good.
That's how it works, man. That's
Yeah,
good.
man. Yeah,
Excited to
man.
hear the next things you
Yeah,
do.
man.
Well, cool. Well, what you think, Harold?
Hey, man, it's been a great day, and really appreciate you guys participating and telling us some of the stories and
Oh, yeah.
some of your great experiences, and we're so glad to see all of you again, and I hope to see you sooner rather than later.
yeah,
I agree with that.
absolutely.
Thank you,
Amen.
Harold. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. This has been fun.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of Behind the Shed. Special thanks to our guests today, Russ Zavitson, Harold Shedd, Wade Smith, Mark McGuinn, Jeff Moseley, and Bobby Boyd. Behind the Shed podcast was created by Wade Smith, produced by Russ Zavitson and Wade Smith, and recorded in Nashville, Tennessee. Music written and composed by Russ Zavitson. You can contact the show via email at behindtheshed@gmail.com. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok at Behind the Shed. Special thanks to our newest Patreon supporter, Mr. Ron Ledette. If you would like to support the show in any way, please visit our Patreon page at Behind the Shed. For sponsorship opportunities, contact us at behindtheshed@gmail.com. This episode was sponsored by PopChevy.com, Wild Bill Fireworks, the Kent Rose Foundation, and the Harold Shedd Music Gallery.com. Tune in next week as we go behind the shed.